Kelly Crawl and Brian Davis here at the Integris Health Thunder Development Center on day 3 of the Thunder's training camp. And Brian, we found out in a hurry what this team is going to be focusing on, and it's really no surprise as it's always been a staple for the Thunder, and that will once again be defense.
That's the foundation, and as this team tries to add a couple more building blocks to what they've done in seasons past, defense, making the other guy take tougher shots is right at the top of the list. Scott Brooks told his guys day one, before they came out to practice, they had a meeting. He says, look, last year the other guy hit you 48% is what the opponent shot by average in the first half. We got to be better than that. And we know, Kelly, the ability is there, because if you separate it out and you look, for instance, at the final 3 minutes of the second quarter and the fourth quarter, the Thunder held the other guy to 43% shooting. So again, the ability is definitely there. It's maybe mindset and intensity.
And one of the players who certainly takes a lot of pride in his defensive ability and hopes to make an even bigger impact this season, now that he's dropped a few pounds.
30.
Yeah, is Kendrick Perkins.
I just worked hard this summer. You know, I was disappointed in myself last year in the playoffs, but, you know, I don't like to blame anything on injuries, but at the same time, you know, I was out there, so I should have made a difference. But I just want to come back. I want to come back healthy, blocking more shots, finishing at the rim, and just being able to slide and do what I know how to do. I mean, before I got hurt, you know, I was one of those guys who was able to switch out on the guard and guard him at the perimeter on the defensive end without no help. So I was just trying to get back to those days and even better. So, you know, I'm just trying to be better than what I was before I got hurt.
He's getting up and down the floor better. He's finishing better. You know, defending a whole lot better. He's doing everything, basically doing everything better because he's healthy. And that was the main thing for him last year. He's having problems with his knees, but everything is going good with him right now.
Something that Kendrick won't really talk a lot about is what his conditioning does for him mentally. He's moving better. He says he's still not 100%. And some people will tell you that an ACL injury is a 2-year injury. Remember, he got hurt in the finals in 2010, so he's a ways away. But he will, just being able to move better in the gains he's made, he will be a more confident player. And that can only help the Thunder.
And we saw that in a smirk way. He did joke about having more hops now. So, but on the other side of the ball, another thing the Thunder are already focusing in on offensively, not that they've had a problem scoring, but you can always get better at ball movement, and it's specifically upping your assists.
Last season, the Thunder averaged only 20 assists a game, and there were games when they struggled to get to 15 or 16. Dallas, the champions, by contrast, averaged 24 assists a game. And what Scott Brooks and his players are talking about is not so much scoring more, but scoring in different ways, being maybe less predictable, getting other players involved. You know, when you swing the ball, you can really pull the defense apart, and that can only be good.
But we have to get everybody passing. It's not a point guard issue, it's a team issue. Like I've told all of our guys, Kevin has to raise his passing, his assist level up. James is the same way. James is a terrific playmaker. He can make a lot of good plays and make some tough passes for us, but we need more of those. It's a team thing that we've approached. That's my approach, is just everybody focusing in on making plays for each other. It doesn't matter who scores. It matters. All that matters is that we score.
I think he said we was like 20-something in assists last year as a team. Maybe get away from the one-on-one plays. You know, we score a lot of one-on-one situations, but he want to get into it where we're making multiple passes in a possession.
One other note, Coach Brooks did mention there were a few guys that weren't able to go through the entire team practice, but they did some light drills on the side, and that was Reggie Jackson, James Harden, and Nazr Mohammed.
Yeah, your typical training camp bumps and bruises, no big deal. They'll be back sooner rather than later. But what is interesting is that the way everybody continues to talk about the level of conditioning on this team, when you consider that they were off for a whole lot longer. I mean, they were gone from here for 6 months, and they came back, everybody to a man in great shape.
Yes, they looked really good, and they will continue day 4 of training camp. And for all your training camp updates, come right back here to thunder.nba.com. Reporting for the Oklahoma City Thunder, I'm Kelly Crawl, and this is Brian Davis.